Are you looking to build or upgrade a gaming PC? Then you're gonna need a case. There are so many different things to think about. Size, airflow, ease of build, but don't worry, I've already tested over 100 of them. All so you don't have to. In this video, I'll be sharing the top cases for your next gaming PC, be it small and light, big and heavy, RGB, or full stealth mode. So get yourself ready to see the case of your dreams after a short word from this video sponsor. Are you ready for the next generation of PC gaming? Seagate's hosting a global gaming event on the 24th of June, and it's one you'll not want to miss. You'll get to see firsthand the future of PCIe Generation 4 storage, GPUs, cooling tech, and much more. I honestly can't wait. We'll be hearing from the likes of CD Projekt Red, AMD, Razer, and MSI. It's going to be huge, so set yourself a reminder with that link down below, put your feet up, and then enjoy the very best that PC gaming has to offer. I could not believe that it's almost been a year since my last case roundup, and believe me, a lot has changed since then. Kicking off with the entry level, it's really quite surprising just how much case you can get for a relatively small amount of cash. I'm branding the Ion's KZ10W as my silly cheap case, as I bought one for just over £30, but don't let that put you off too much. It's a fully airflow optimized case on the front, and it's a perfect size for the more budget orientated build. It is full ATX, but it's relatively short in footprint. Compromises are definitely rife though, such as the lack of any fans at all, and build quality that leaves just a little bit to be desired. But the temperatures themselves are good, and it is surprisingly easy to build in. In a situation where every penny counts, this is a great way to save some cash. If you do want something that is a little bit better built, but still quite budget orientated, then why not check out the Deepcool Mercube 110. I was really astounded with just how well this case worked. Even with a huge graphics card and some pretty toasty components inside, despite the lack of a full mesh front, everything just worked fine. Again, very easy to build inside, there's a plain yet very tasteful design language throughout, and then this time there is a single fan included. I guess you could say it's Deepcool's only fan. I was proud of that. The Marmite factor here is the micro ATX limitation. It gets you a smaller PC and a less expensive motherboard, but it does limit your expansion in the future. Not an issue for most, but definitely something to consider. While we're on the topic of M-ATX, let's chat about my favourite on the market. I'll confess that I'm cheating a little bit here, as technically I haven't actually tested this. What you're seeing now is the MB320L from Cooler Master, but I would strongly suggest that instead you get the mesh version of this, the MB311L. It is very similar to the Deepcool, but you have RGB fans and a mesh intake, so it's going to be a lot more practical over the long term. And if you do want to have a more gaming looking PC, then this is definitely the way to go. I should be getting one in very soon and doing a full build no less, so do get yourself subscribed so you don't miss it. Next up, let's talk about everybody's favourite thing in the whole world, RGB. And the cool thing is, it needn't be expensive, as showcased by MSI's Forge 100R. Quite how MSI managed to create an airflow optimized RGB case at this price, I don't think I ever really know, but there's very little to complain about here. It's certainly not the biggest case in the world, but it is full-size ATX, and it has great thermals, and then fans that are surprisingly quiet for stock inclusions. Very well rounded for the money if I do say so myself. Step it up to the big leagues though, and you get perhaps the best looking cases on the market right now. The 4000X and the 5000X from Corsair. Tempered glass aplenty, these cases rock 3 RGB fans as standard, and it's all controllable via software to perfectly match the rest of your gaming setup. The 5000X build was one of my all-time favourites, and it was super easy to construct in record time. Just do be aware of the higher temperatures due to the glass. It's not a huge deal, but it is definitely something to note. If you're someone that wants to grab yourself some airflow with some RGB and blend it all together, then the good news is that I have 2 strong options for you. A fan favourite would be the Phanteks P400A, a very well priced chassis that can fit a large amount of hardware while still looking absolutely stellar in the process. Phanteks thought very carefully about PC builders here, and as such it's a breeze to set up and assemble. The included RGB fans look brilliant, but do observe that they are a tad on the louder side, especially when you're using them untuned. A viable alternative would be Be Quiet's 500DX. This case uses Whisper Quiet fans as standard, and arguably has even better build quality throughout. You also get USB Type-C and some slick RGB effects to both the front of the case and a strip along the top, which is really neat. The only thing that I will say is that it does look a little bit plain without adding some fancy fans, so if you do want this to be your centerpiece, by the time you're finished it can get quite pricey. But what about the little guys, the ITX machines that take up a tiny bit of space on your desk? Well, in 2021, this is by far the easiest pick in this entire list, as the Meshlicious is essentially the perfect ITX case. Despite its small size, it is super simple to fit hardware inside, including large GPUs, and amazingly, temperatures are consistently quite low, as you can easily fit a radiator on the front while still letting your graphics card breathe through the side. Negatives on this? Just the one, availability, as this is a very hard beast to track down, so best of luck to you. An honourable mention here as well, this time for the Phanteks P200A. It is a little bit plain to be fair, but if you want to build a mini PC, you know, a computer that actually looks like a computer, then this is a great bet. It's just a little bit on the larger side for a small case. Pressing on, and you'd probably expect the best quiet case to come from Be Quiet. But all in all, I'd say that the more silenced optimized cases that they have lack a little bit of style for me. Instead, I choose the case that I use for my personal PC, the Phanteks P600S. This enclosure is made from noticeably thicker materials, and it comes with sound dampening covers both the front and the rear. This then gives you the perfect flexibility to set your PC up as you personally need it, with mesh intakes for airflow when you're using beefy CPUs and graphics chips. I've got mine set up with a full custom loop and it works a treat, just be aware that you definitely are paying for the premium here. Looking back over the last few years, I'd say that the classiest case that I've used to date is from Lee & Lee, another favourite in the comments, the O11 Dynamic. This comes in a range of sizes and styles, with my particular build rocking the Razer theme, and it was actually one of the first cases to adopt the rather quirky side airflow styling. Pressing swiftly on to our penultimate category, we have Big Case, and my winner is the Phanteks Enthoo 719. I'll start by saying that I don't think it's the best looking case in the world, but it's certainly got its own style, and I love the huge glass panel and the airflow optimized approach. It's so big that it can actually accommodate 2 whole systems, or one stonking huge one, and it isn't too bad for the price. Well, for a full tower at least. But now is the time to report on my favourite case, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a new one, the Corsair 4000D Airflow. The size of it is perfect for any build, and it's just as happy with a 1050 Ti as a 3090. Temperatures have been astoundingly low for me, even with a 360 rad blocking airflow to the graphics card. Constructing your PC will be a breeze, and ultimately it's a great looking case, be it RGB or stealthy blackout. All in all, Corsair really has smashed it out the park with this one. There really is not much to dislike here. If you do want to learn more about any of these parts, including current pricing, then you can find my links to them all listed down below. But I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. What case are you using right now? Did you like any of the ones that I've mentioned? What have I missed? What do you want me to test? Let me know down in that comment section below, and of course while you're down there, smash that like button and get subscribed for more videos just like this so you don't miss any. But thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.